Pause. Where is it coming? Do we know? I don't think it's coming anywhere near us. At least I don't see it. So that's a good thing. Hey guys, Wheatywaffle here today, and we are back in City Skylines. Today, what we're going to focus on is our bus network. I've mapped everything out. The very first thing I'm going to put here on screen is our current transportation lines that we have for Waffle County as a whole, or really for the downtown. These cover the bus lines, the tram lines, these metro lines. I think that's about it. I mean, we have taxis and things like that, but those are the three like major lines we currently have set up for our downtown. What I want to do today is add the following lines to our downtown area as buses. Now we're going to change the one line we currently have in Underhill, but otherwise I don't think there's any other bus lines we currently have set up in downtown. Hopefully with these lines all together, this is what our new public transit system is going to look like in Waffle County. The only real thing I did in between parts was just build out this tiny little area. We've had this little section right here next to Waffle County University that's just kind of been empty. It's had the train lines running next to it as well as the metro. So I figured we would just add a little, let's turn this down, it doesn't have to go so fast. We would add just a little neighborhood over here. And I used a few modern buildings here and there. For some reason, the cars are floating. I added in just a few modern buildings here and there, just kind of changing it up a little bit. Maybe, you know, as we get a little bit further from the city, some of these buildings are newer development. They're not in the greatest of places. You're right next to a metro line, but as of right now, this is turned off. It doesn't actually run or do anything. And then I did add in, this is a suggestion I've had a few times, and I wanted to go ahead and honor it right now. We might change all this in a bit, but for now we'll have it, which is taking all of the scars from the different hurricanes, from the different earthquakes we've had, and turning them into little rivers. So we now have two small rivers that are leading into the downtown area, or the ocean here. One of them was a great way to fill this spot. There was a pretty decent grade change here, so I thought it would be nice to have a little lake in this area, and we can think about doing some kind of nature trail or something around it, and then eventually, you know, we'll get right back into development. So it'll be a small little park, but we can work on that later on. But let's do bus routes, which, if you remember the naming convention we had for our previous buses, I'm just going to bring up our naming list really fast. Our naming convention works as follows. There is a route number, which will be odd if it is just a like shuttle style route going from point A to point B and back again. It'll be even if it is a loop or circuit route. And if it's a circuit route, you'll notice there's always two. So there will be one that has a C behind it, which is the clockwise route, and one that has a W behind it, which is the counterclockwise route. And then after the route number is 3 characters, which represent the area of the city they're going either around, if it's a circuit, or if it's a shuttle going from one area to the other, represents the 2 districts or 2 areas that the bus is going to and from. Also, this bus, 98% of trips. That's pretty decent. Now, some of these need to be worked on. Like, we need to come back now that we've really started to do some decent development and re-up some of these buses. We will do that in another part that's not happening today. There's also been just like a bit of traffic happening here. So many people headed to the downtown, and really the only way to get there is from this highway. You have to come down this highway and come in. So it might be worth thinking about some kind of interchange or connecting up this area, because I think this highway here is going to be the main way people from this half of the map want to get over here, but we're just not there yet. We're going to have a bit of traffic here and there. Where are we at? 79%. All around, that's not terrible. As long as we're above 70%, I'll take it. Buses. That's the main thing we're doing here. So, do we have a depot over here? We have the depot for trams. We have the depot for taxis. Here's our closest bus depot right here. So that's not close enough. Let's go ahead and do... we'll do a biofuel one. Even though it is a city, it's going to be loud regardless. But we'll do it just so we have it. Or, no, we'll just do a regular one. All right, let's take a bus depot. I'm going to stick it over here in the stadium area just because this area is already loud as it is. So I don't mind adding in an additional building over here. I think we just do it right in this spot. And if we hate it, we can move it later on. But honestly, that is not a big deal. kind of perfect. All right, so we've got our bus depot. In terms of lines, the first line we're going to build is this dark blue line, which is going to be Route 13, and it's going from the Belmont district over to our stadium district. So I have my little like notes here next to me, and it looks like I started this here in the stadium area, and then this is going to travel kind of up and through Underhill and into the Belmont district. Now we are going to delete this current line we have, only because I think this new line is going to supersede this Route 11. We're not going to use the 11 because I think I'm going to use 11 over in this area. So for now, we're just going to start with Route 13. So we're going to come down here and start with our stadiums. I think we're going to stop on this main avenue. I'm going to have one stop here because it's close to our crosswalks and the entrance to the stadium, as well as pretty close to the train. We are then going to come up a block and stop outside of this other stadium. And then I think we'll do one more stop at the end of the next block. I know it's a little bit excessive, but because this is such a high trafficked area, I want to make sure we can get people everywhere they need to go. Let's do a stop right at the foot of Hillside Hills. We will come up the long way, I think, and do a stop up here to kind of grab these people on this back road. And then we are going to come on into our downtown of Underhill Park. I think the first stop, since we don't have a shuttle or a tram on this road, I'm comfortable stopping here. Let's do a stop here. And then let's do a stop. Would I be able to share the stop with the tram? No. So if the tram's in the way, we can't stop there. We'll do a stop here right across the street from the tram, but on the way back, it's going to have to be different. You know what? We're going to back it up even further. We're going to stop this just before the tram road. That way it's servicing more of this hill, as well as it's closer to the high school and the police station. Then we'll stop right in the middle of this downtown. I think that's a much better spot to go. Now from here we can do we want to do one more? Let's do one more, because this is like business a touristy building here. And then we're going to take it all the way down this route. There's nothing zoned on this road, and you really can't access the trail from here, so we're just going to go all the way down here to the end. And when we get to the end, we're going to stop here by our, look at all the people walking. That's amazing. Stop right here by our post office, as well as our cemetery, which some people do come and visit. We're going to go onto the avenue and do a stop here right in the heart of Belmont. Stop the next block up, cross over the bridge, stop right in front of our train station. And then we're just going to loop it pretty much right on back. We might shuffle these a little bit. So I'll push this bus stop up, push this bus stop up. And the reason I'm doing that is so that the bus doesn't immediately turn and then have to block the traffic that it's also trying to turn. It gives the other vehicles a chance to swerve past the bus. And if we're coming down here anyway, do we need to go down? No, there's paths that connect up. I'm not concerned about going all the way down here, although it would let us turn around. So let's do that. Let's throw a stop right down here next to the entrance. So if you're taking this train, you can easily get off the bus stop, walk right into the train, and vice versa. So there's our first route. Let's go ahead and grab bus line 16. This is going to be number 13. It's a shuttle, so there's no need for a letter afterwards. This is going from Belmont to the stadium district. And I would like to make this like a really deep blue. And then because this area does not have a lot of other, especially Belmont, a lot of other connectivity, let's give it a bendy bus and just increase the number of people that can be on this bus route at once. Because it is a pretty, 25 stops is a pretty intense bus route. Now, why is it doing all of that? If that's what it's going to do, let's just move that again further out of the way. The only place it should be doing that turnaround is here. The second route we're going to do is mainly a shuttle for the stadium district area. So it's not going to get a ton of use compared to some of our other routes, but I do think it's going to be useful. We're going to have a bus stop that stops here where the parking is. I know a lot of people don't use it, and it's a pretty rare occasion that you have a ton of people parked in this area, even when there's a game. But that's okay. We're going to go ahead and throw down just a few stops mirroring the stops of our blue line. And this is just serving as a little shuttle that will service this whole area. And because it's so short, we're not even going to follow the naming convention for this. We are just going to call this Stadium Shuttle. I think I'd rather this be yellow because our Buccaneers are yellow, which is the sports team, right? Did I make this up? They're the Buccaneers. Broncos. They're the Broncos. Let's call it the Bronco Shuttle. Bronco Shuttle. All right, the third one's going to be a loop. So this is our first kind of circuit of this area. So this circuit is going to go from or through the middle of Uptown and come all the way down to Foxglove. So we do have a spur route here, which is doing some great connections, as well as another subway stop and 2 transit stops for our tram. But I would like to have a bus that's a bit more just kind of servicing those who live down here. Because if you're here on this subway, you can jump to this subway, but then you would have to switch subways to get to this stop, which would just seem like it's a little ridiculous to jump just a short distance. And then if you wanted to get anywhere, you would have to walk. Whereas if we had some kind of route down here that was mainly for the people living in this area or the tourists, I think we'd be able to kind of move people around a bit more. So we got one stop up here at the top of our circuit, one that's down here close to the subway station. We're going to skip over this block and we're going to come down to this end here, right by the park and a bunch of our tourist buildings. We are going to cross, I think, over this main road, and let's do a stop here. It's a bit of a longer stop there. Let's actually go back a bit. Let's do this right in front of this main building, and then we'll come across a little bit, spread them out a little bit further. Down here, I want to go back up, I think, this road. So let's do a stop here at the very kind of tail end like we did with the top. And then we will probably just mirror what we have going on over on this side. So we'll do a stop here. We'll do a stop at the base of the park. We'll do a stop here in the heart of Uptown, and then we'll reconnect. And then because these east to west roads are not one way, we can just kind of go back in a loop again. Perfect. This is a circuit, so let's go ahead and give these both names. I think our last even was 10. Yeah, our last even was 10 because we did a Lidditz circuit. So let's go ahead and give this number 12. This one is the counterclockwise. This gets a W for counterclockwise. And it is going from Uptown to Foxglove. And then I know we already had a yellow that we just did for our Broncos, but I would like this to also be yellow because that's what I had on my little chart. Or it could be more of like an orange. No, we already have an orange. We're going to keep it yellow. Okay, there we go. So now we've got an additional circuit route loop kind of servicing everyone who's living in this area, which is fantastic. Are we having a death wave? Because I'm seeing a lot of death over here. We've got these guys emptying out. No, they're picking people up. How's this area going? Not a single complaint or concern. Fantastic. Okay, back over here. What is happening with this route? Hold on. Quick pause. Okay, I think our trams are fixed. Now, back to buses. All right, we were working over here. So we have this next route, which is our like raspberry color route. It's gonna be Route 15. And this is going to connect both kind of this area of West Cypress further down into the Ortera and Newport kind of section of our city. Now we do have a one-way road here, which I did not keep in account when I was planning this, but I think we're gonna be okay. We wanna switch over to buses. We can't share stops with the transit or with the trams. So we're gonna have to kind of alter my plan just a little bit. I think we'll stop here just above. We will then come on down this direction. Since we're on a bus, I don't mind being a bit more frequent with the stops. So we'll do one stop there, one stop here. Although this is by the entrance. Oh, no, this is not the highway. Okay, no, that's fine. We'll keep that. Let's then bring it down a bit further, stop in front of these larger buildings near the hospital. We'll then stop right here next to our metro station, so you can easily connect to the metro. We're going to stop here, and then we're going to loop back around using this tiny one-way road. and then we're going to connect back up. Actually, and the one ways came in our favor because it's just a shuttle. We don't have to worry about going the opposite direction. Okay, so this is going to be number, let me look at my little sheet here, number 15. Because it's a shuttle, it doesn't need a C or a W after it, and it's really going from West Cypress over to Ortera. And let's go ahead and make this that raspberry color that I had on my notes. All right, so now we have Route 15, which is just giving additional connections, which is awesome. Next one up, this one's kind of beefy, and this is a little bit different, but I realize we have this train, like sunken train line that goes all the way through the center of our city. And it gives us almost like a double avenue, even though this is just a street. We have two roads, nothing is zoned in the middle of them, and they run parallel to each other pretty close. So what I'd like to do is I would like to have stops on both sides. It's still going to be...
Meteorologists have issued a severe tornado warning for the area. Residents should
seek
shelter immediately if any is available.
Pause. Where is it coming? Do we know? I don't think it's coming anywhere near us. At least I don't see it. So that's a good thing. I'm going to say it's not a cause for concern. For this one, although it's a shuttle, it's going to kind of be stopping on two different streets. I'm okay with that. I don't think that's a big deal. So let's go ahead and stop here. We're going to bring it down 2 blocks and stop here. All right, we're going to do 3 stops along this route. And we're going to come over here into Anchor Narrows. We haven't really developed this yet, but I am going to put a bus stop in here just so we have it. We might put it right there. And then we will do a bus stop in front of this sinkhole that magically didn't interrupt any part of my city. Let's come on down here and stop in front of the fire station, which I think more just gives us a better connection. So if you come over here, you want to get your car and go to work. Once we get work things built over here, we'll have somewhere for people to go. Then I think we're going to come into this neighborhood. And we're going to do 1 stop kind of right in the middle. Let's back it up a little. No, actually, that's fine. And I was going to come over. Doesn't look like on my notes I'd actually reached the train, but I'm tempted to kind of expand this a bit. Stop it here in front of this train station. And if I were to come back around to this point, we would go this long way. And if I were to go this way, we would cover around this senior center. Let's go ahead and stop it. See, this is a particularly busy intersection, which I don't love. All right, another tornado. Seems to be like we get the same disasters in the same areas. Y'all, it looks like it's just going off the map. I'm not concerned about that tornado. Goodbye, tornado. We were in the middle of something and you rudely interrupted our project. I need to hide this other route. Let's go down here, Route 13. Go ahead and just turn her off really fast. Let's click back on this. We could... Do I need to share this? I don't know if that's actually necessary. Or better yet, let's switch it up. Let's bring this a bit further back, and then let's also throw one of these. Let's throw one of these here. Put this back. Put this here. Then we're going to make this curve. We'll stop here. We'll come back down. And then on our way back, we're pretty much just going to match it. There we go. So now we've got a brand new bus route, number 17. And it is going to go from, what did we put down? NWP, so our Newport area, really over to Belmont district. And I would like this to be a nice, intense lime green. Thinking of this, I do want to just quickly, because I noticed this traffic we've got, let's use some of these asymmetrical roads. So we've got a lot of people, turn on anarchy, turn off collision. We've got a lot of people trying to get one way or the other here. Let's do the same here. You're trying to turn out. This road I'm not concerned about. I would say though that this road here could benefit from a little bit more, a few more lanes. Let's have this be a turn only lane. And then this can go forward or turn. This is a turn only lane. This, if this is a turn only lane, they wouldn't have time. That would just kind of be servicing internal, or they could switch right there, which I don't love. You would go straight or to here. I really think that this might need like a timed traffic light. We'll see. This is getting a little bit busier than I had hoped. But mainly like there's this weird, hold on. This area could just use a little finesse because like we're just getting a backup and that doesn't really seem necessary. Like let's speed this up. All the cars are just disappearing. Got a timed light. It's sending all those people forward. Then this has a timed light. It's sending everybody where they need to go. Okay, we're backing up to the avenue, which is never a good sign, but let's just see what happens here. I guess this could benefit from having, hold on, this could benefit from being upgraded to this guy. And the reason is if we change that, man, now I gotta do all these again. Oh no, we're still good. It has them all. This can be a turn only lane and you can go straight. This one can be a turn or you can go straight, but now we have dedicated directions and this particular lane only goes over. So people trying to go straight through can stay in this lane. Okay, this might be better. It might benefit us to have just an additional highway entrance. Brief pause to our expansion. This is 16 units. How far is this from this road? Like about 6. If I were to just kind of keep this here. Let's do 16 units. Let's send it up to 36. And just send it in. Let's use move it to kind of make this look a little bit nicer. But because this is a pretty like heavy connection area, we just might need to have a few more entrances and exits. Let's go ahead and upgrade that. Let's remove this extra node that's unnecessary, but this also just gives this road an additional connection to the highway. This then becomes 3 lanes. It technically should then become 4 lanes. We'll see if that's an issue. I don't love that there's immediately an exit right afterwards, but that's okay. All right, we'll come back to this area. This is not really working in the way that I hope it would. And part of it, I think, is just because there's a train station. Like, this is a busy, wow, 1,296 people. It's a busy area. So we've got a little bit of a backup here. That's not really that big of a problem. I'd love to see more people using this route. What if, crazy idea, what if we forced people to go all the way over? Let's just upgrade this to 3. Well, now we're going to be pushing everybody over this direction. Hold on, let's click on this again. All right, everybody's coming down. They'll use this road instead. They'll come down this way instead. It might work. So now we're on to this orange route here. So this orange line is going from kind of the Newport, Ortera area all the way over to the stadiums and is similarly functioning like at times both the metro, but also just like our tram route. So it kind of mirrors some of those lines in both of them. So let's create a stop here on whatever road this is. And let's then come on down and stop on this road as well. So we've kind of got our beginning and our end there. Then we're going to bring it on through. And this is not our main avenue, but it's 1 block away. So you have good connection to all these other services and all these other routes, which is good. This is going to be one of the only stops. I think this might be the only bus route that stops directly in front of this central station. We're going to see how this goes. Because there are so many people that use this, this could be a terrible, terrible idea. We're going to come on down, curve here into the downtown area, and we are going to, in a way, kind of follow what we did here. So we have, like, if we call this stop, we'll want to stop down here by this monument, which would be a great spot for it. We'll cross over the road here and stop in front of these larger buildings. And we'll do 1, maybe 2, to kind of service this neighborhood. And then this is going to come up in here and stop in front of the train station, just like our other one. All right, now let's send it right on back. This route is going to be called number 19, Route 19. It's going from basically the Newport area over to our stadium district, and we are going to give this a nice orange color. And it's nice that it's orange because it's stopping at the train station, which the game defaults trains to orange, which is awesome. We have one more. This is another pretty long one. So this is going to be our purple line. It's going to be Route 21. It's going from Waffle County University all the way over into Uptown. And then because there's so many other connections in Uptown, it's not going to the stadium district or any further than that. It's going to stay just in Uptown and people can transfer to other services. So this one is going to start here. We're going to go around this little loop, which I think is kind of amazing. We're going to come on down and we are going to do a stop on this tiny little avenue segment. Nothing else can really go here because of how small it is, but it puts people right below the metro, which I think is great. We're then going to bring it on down and we're going to do another stop on this tiny little road here. And then we're going to go ahead and stop in front of our Astor Park theme park, which is close to the tram lines. And that's the only tram line that we're sharing, because then we're going to go back over. Actually, should we? Nope, we're going to go back on the other side of the park, connect with Route 15, and then we're going to cut right through Dahlia. Now, I am noticing that this might be a bit of a problem because this is a one-way road. If we came up here and we stopped outside of these buildings, and then we could did we do a stop over here? Let's do one in front of the park as well. We'll come over to the other side next to the subway station. I think that's a good spot. And then we're going to send it back up for as much as we can. But then when we get here, we have a bit of a problem. Let's just go and reconnect this to here really fast. And I think that this road, it's got parking and a one-way lane. I think this road is going to change. What kind of bus road do I have? Do I have like a tiny one-lane bus road? No, I think I got rid of all those because I was never using them. Okay, so alternative plan. Let's do a one-unit, two-lane road. Go ahead and change this up. Look, there's already people waiting. Oh, that's awesome. All right, so let's go ahead and rename this guy route number 21. It is going to be Waffle County University over to Uptown. Go ahead and give this a nice purple color, call it a day. Now, what we're going to need to do is monitor kind of what our bus usage looks like and see if we need to change any of these routes, because we might need to do some editing a little bit here. Really quick, we are now at 4,869 passengers per week. I would like to get our total, I guess our total passengers is, if we have 4,000 plus 1,000 is 5,000, the remaining makes up another 1,000. So we're at 42,000, or excuse me, 52,000, which is just above 10% of our current population, which is great. But I would love to have the total number of current riders to be closer to 5,000 residents and maybe 1,500 tourists. So we're going to see how that goes. Real quick, let's also check our traffic flow. We've got a bit of traffic here, which I'm not sure what that's being caused by. A little bit here being caused by the trams. And then in this area here, lots of vehicles cutting right through. Not sure what they're going to, but we'll see soon enough. How is this area going? Have we kind of solved some of the issues here? Yeah, it looks like we have potentially fixed some of these issues, which is a good thing. There's no more backup over the bridge, which is awesome. Does look like we have a lot of like on-street parking, which isn't a bad thing, but I would maybe want to consider changing that up a little bit so there's not so much on-street parking. All right, and then last area I wanted to check what's going on with this highway. So right here, starting here, we've got a backup. This backup is moving through, everyone's staying in one lane up to here, but there's no real cause for the backup. So why are you guys choosing to change your lanes? To switch underground view, stay in lane, Control S. Okay, Control S, Control S, Control S, Control S, Control S, Control S, Control S. All right, there we go. If you're coming in here, there's no reason for you to change lanes literally every second. Like why can't you guys use all the lanes I have given you? I think that might have done a little bit of help here. 80%. Okay, great. So I think that's good enough for now. All right, while we are waiting to let these buses kind of fill out a bit, Astor Park, we reached level 2 while I was doing some detailing off camera. So let's go in and just add some of these new items we've got. So we have the plaza, we have the cafe, we have all the way up until the carousel. We've got a piggy train, which is kind of small, and we have a rotating teacup, which is even smaller. Oh my gosh. All right, let's do a road that comes right off of here. Can we get a 45? Not exactly. Hold on. Maybe. 45.1, 44.9. Oh, I saw it like so briefly. There it is. Boom. All right, so we got a 45-degree angle. Let's use this piggyback ride. What is this called again? Piggy train. Because it's a little bit longer, we'll use this over here just to kind of fill in this little space. And then I think our teacups can really just go right here in the central plaza. It's not a big ride and doesn't really need all this own space. And then I think we can come in here and give this a nice little pathway that goes around. It doesn't like serve any purpose other than just kind of fills out the area a little bit. And then let's throw down some trees. Let's do our palm tree here. Let's turn this all the way down to 0. There we go. So now we've got a few extra things here in Astor Park. We are well at our entertainment goal. We just need to get an additional 1,000 people here, but that will happen with time. Let's start looking at our buses and get an idea of how they're working. We're at still 4,800 and 1,400, so that's good. Let's start with the first one we did, which was at Route 13. Let's see if we can find Route 13. Okay. Oh, I turned it off too. All right, let's go look over here. We have 0 people on here. When we get here, these 2 stops in Underhill are both quite busy. You come in here with a 16. Let's go ahead and just speed this up 3 times. Then we come down here and we still have 66 people on the bus, 52 people on the bus. We have another busy bus stop right down here. And if we look through the rest of these are all pretty empty. And really, where are all these people getting off? They are getting on down here in Belmont. 10 got off here. 24. Okay, so they're mainly trying to get off here in this heart of the downtown. I don't necessarily want to do more trams out this way, but you know what might be cool? Let's just look at this. What if we were to do a cable car? It's a little loud, which isn't ideal. But if people were trying to get from here to here, what if we switched it a bit and we put a cable car here in the back?
The Forest Service has stated that there is a risk of an imminent forest fire in the area. Residents are advised to avoid forested areas. A forest fire is raging in the area. Leave campsites and tree houses immediately.
Oh, wow. Okay, we've got lots of potential forest fires over here. Let's see if our people can keep up with all of this. How quick do forest fires, like as a disaster, spread faster than other fires? I mean, looks like we might have this forest fire under control. I think we got that under control. I think we're pretty good at this. All right, I think we add in just a little something crazy. We could do it from here because this is flat and you're right next to the entrance. And then we could have it let people out. I'm gonna scoot it over so it's right in the corner. This is totally fine where it is. And then let's turn this guy back on. Let's connect up to here. All right, if I turn Anarchy off, I can easily, where's the connection point? Right at the base there. I can easily cross over all of this and not interrupt anything. And then let's go ahead and just smooth out a little bit of this spot. So now we've already got a brand new way of connecting through, and this might help alleviate a bit of the traffic because the rest of that bus line is doing what it's supposed to do. So we'll keep 13 as it is. I'm happy with where we're at. All right, the next one was the stadium line. This is going to be really boring to look at. I don't think the Bronco Shuttle has much of anybody, and it's really only going to be used when there are games in place. I think we could even lower this down to just 3, and that's totally fine. I don't think we need any more than that. Our next one was Route 12. This was a loop. Route 12. Let's jump over here to this one. Jump over here. All right, this is our Uptown to Foxglove. We've got 3 buses. None of them are overpacked. This is getting a little heavy, so let's give this a 4th bus. But I think that that's going to be just fine. And how many cars? 100% of cars trips. That's what we want to see. That's perfect. The other 12, which is this one, I think, 100% of car trips. Not a ton of people on any of them, and that's okay. Did we just, hold on. That's W. Where's 12C? 12C goes the opposite way. And again, 400%. This is got a few people on it, but nothing crazy. That's perfect. Let's find Route 15 right here. All right, we've got 100% of bus routes, which is great. This is cutting right down through the heart of the city here. None of our stops are overcumbered too much, which is good. So we'll take that. The green route, number 17. 17, let's check this guy out. 73% of bus trips, which is great. None of the stops are overcumbered. This is getting pretty close. We've got a 20 here. We've got a 15. So they are beginning to fill a little bit. That's a 17. But I think right now, this particular bus still works just fine. 19. Let's go in here. We've got a 49 stop here. This one's going from, what is this? Newport over to the Stadium District. This is full, and we've got a 50 here. It's got 9 vehicles on it. Oh my gosh. As I suspected, the bus route in front of the train station is going to be crazy. Absolutely crazy. So let's go ahead and switch this to, let's do the bendy bus. Because it is a longer ride, the bendy bus can hold, how many more people? 70. I don't think it's going to totally solve this because of just where this is. It's always going to be super busy. That's okay. It might help us out a little bit. And then we need to look at 21, which is our other pretty long kind of cross city line. We've got 121 people here at Waffle County University, which is great to see. I love that. We have 76 over here kind of by this Ortera stop, which is shared by Route 15, 78 now. Okay. And then if we get over this way, we've got 130 right outside of the state of the university by this park. All right, let's go ahead. It's got 8 vehicles. Again, because this is a longer route, let's go ahead and give this the bendy bus as well. And we'll see how that does now that it can hold more people. We're pretty close to 5,000 here, almost at 1,500, which is great. So I think all around we've got much better connections set up for our citizens. And I think that's where we're going to leave this part here is bus heavy today. But what I just wanted to do is make sure we had everything connected up here. So I'm going to throw up the the overall bus view that I drew out on screen. If you want to screenshot it, leave me some comments. Let me know what we can change. I'm totally down for that. And then I'm also going to throw up the version that has the white lines to represent all of our other public transport infrastructure. And yeah, we'll see what you guys think. But I think now we've got a connected up city, and it should be helping our traffic. 78. I mean, we've kind of stayed in the same spot the whole time. I wanted it to go up. We're just getting stupid problems like this. You know what I did? This is my fault, but I turned off traffic manager gameplay, reckless driver percentage, enable advanced vehicle UI, dynamic lane selection. I turned this off as a way to like help with frame rate, but I'm thinking that without dynamic lane selection, we're having just so many problems. Okay, let's turn that up to 25. Let's see if that helps with some of this, because these kinds of backups were not happening before. But I think they're happening now because I made all the cars stupid again. I think that's where we're going to leave this part here, guys. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next one.